Losing a pet will be one of the most difficult things you will ever endure, up to including losing a loved one. I have lost pets, family pets, in my time, so I had experience with pet loss. But Ozzy was my first dog that I owned on my own. I rescued him from an abusive situation at the age of 6 months old. He had a wonderful life with us. He had a wonderful vet that I trusted that cared for him most of his 14 years. And he was our family vet for 30 plus years. January 20th, 2020, Ozzy developed a disease called IMHA, which is immune-mediated hemolytic anemia. It's an autoimmune disease where the body attacks its own red blood cells. He became extremely anemic, and he began defecating orange and urinating orange. I was concerned when he started defecating orange and started doing research online. Then we had a snowfall and he urinated orange, which I had not seen, so I took him to the vet right away. His gums were pale, his tongue was pale, and the vet indicated that it may be IMHA. So he ran blood tests and he did x-rays. He found a mass on his liver and diagnosed him with IMHA. We went through about 6 months between January and October of extensive treatments, of steroidal treatments. It looked like he was improving and his blood cell counts were improving and the red blood cell counts were increasing. However, Ozzy just wasn't the same after that. He began moaning and pacing, which I believe was either part of what the mass was on his liver or it was the start of canine dementia. He was 22 days shy of 15 when I put him down. I feel like he was communicating with me that it was time to go. I asked him then last night that he was in pain, and he looked at me, kissed me, and I felt he was communicating with me that it was time for him to go. The last night I gave him a pain pill. We slept on the floor together. Sorry. I cried, and he laid on me as if he was saying goodbye. We talked about him leaving me in the morning. He just laid on my arm. He was ready. The vet said it was time. He had been sick since January, and it was October of 2020. Like I said, he was 22 days shy of 15. It's been 2 years, and I still cry about this. As a part of letting him go, my aunt and I had a 15th birthday party for him, and my parents sent gifts. He was a joy to have in my life, and we celebrated with joy, giving him his favorite steak. My aunt brought him a burger for breakfast in the morning, and the following morning, it was time to say goodbye. I took him to his favorite vet, where he felt comfortable, and we said goodbye to him. It was the hardest thing of my life. I had to make that decision. It wasn't my parents. It wasn't anyone else. It was me. And that decision, as many of you will learn or will know, is a very difficult decision. I played what ifs. I said, what if maybe he's okay, maybe tomorrow he'll be all right, and the next day, and the next day. And I just kept pushing it off until the vet finally said, it's time, Tracy. He's suffering. And when I heard that, I knew it was time because I would never let my boy suffer. He suffered for 6 months of his life in an abusive situation, and I gave him the best years of his life after that. So, as with being a pet owner, the most difficult decisions had to be made. He passed peacefully. I felt his last heartbeat as I placed my hand on his chest and said goodbye to him. I had him cremated and got a box for him for his final resting place. We got a paw print as well, so that stays with me as well. This decision will be one of the most difficult decisions you will ever make, but do your best to never let your animal suffer. In love, we have to make that difficult decision to not let our animals suffer, as hard as it is. If you have any questions or need support, please feel free to comment below, and I will comment back. May God bless you on your journey of decision making with your pets.